I've recently been meeting a lot of new people, and do you guys ever forget you have a coffee, and then it just like, oh, I feel tired, and then you remember that you made a coffee before the show?
Yes. What's even worse is when you've just like gotten in your car and driven like 2 blocks away from your house and going, shit, I poured a cup of coffee.
I made that coffee.
I hate it when you forget that you're in the middle of reading a question on a widely syndicated comedy podcast and instead like just talk about something else.
You ever notice?
By the way, I'm 33, Griffin. I this is the beginning. From here, it's all downhill. It's all like, yeah, you know what I like? Vanilla Tootsie Rolls. Like that's where we're going. That's the phase of this show we're going into.
I watched CBS Sunday Morning this morning, which I really shouldn't do because more often than not, it makes me angry. They had an opinion section that was delivered by contributing editor Paula Poundstone, and it made me want to eat a sword. It made me want to stab a sword down through my stomach.
Is Paula Poundstone the new Andy Rooney? Is that the thing?
I think that she experienced the quickening upon his death and got on there like, I think Obamacare is going to work because once YouTube didn't work and I got it to work. Poundstone out! It was like, that was 3 minutes of my life, Paula Poundstone. I'm never getting that back. I do love your bow tie, though.
Man to that. Anyway, I've been recently meeting a lot of new people, and in an attempt to make conversation, they've been asking me, what's your story? I have a hard time talking about myself sometimes. So how am I supposed to respond to that question? Do they really want a summary of my life up until this point? What do I say when someone asks me that? That's from Flustered in Philly.
What's your story? The Hobbit. What's yours?
That seems weirdly. Doesn't that seem weirdly antagonistic?
It does. It seems like something like a hard-boiled cop asks someone in a movie, like, "What's your story?
What's your story, Toots? Start singing, Canary.
Come clean, Maroney."
Do you think that question is giving rise in this generation? Because traditionally, what you would ask is, "What do you do for a living?" And that question has become this thorny bramble bush to navigate with today's youths, because most youths, and by youths I mean people my age, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. You know what I mean?
None of us know.
I feel like what's your story like falls somewhere between the weird question of like either what's your deal, which I feel is super antagonistic, and you are, which is like really aloof and elitist. So like what's your story is kind of right between those two, and it makes you seem both kind of a dick and kind of a douche at the same time.
But more importantly, Dick Douche, you can it's
Hi, Dick Douche. What's your story?
More importantly though, if someone asks you, and by you I mean the youths of my generation, what are we now, like Delta? Mm-hmm. They ask a Delta, like, what's your story? And you can say, I've been thinking about getting into, like, artisanal beekeeping. You can't use that answer when somebody asks you what you do for a living, because you don't do it yet. You know what I mean?
I hate the what do you do for a living question, because here's what I do. I write about video games on the internet, and I do a comedy podcast. I do 2 comedy podcasts. There is a very high probability that I am going to have to explain, as part of my job description, some core concepts to the person I'm talking to, specifically their age is above 50.
Or even more insulting, you have to find a way to intimate that, yes, you earn a living wage doing this thing. It's not some joke job. You know what I mean?
Sydney's grandfather, probably until we launched Polygon in the beginning of 2012, still asked me when I was going to get a job. I mean, I fully was employed at several different locales at that point, and still was curious when I was going to get into the working world.
But don't you think that is like becoming, especially for people our age and younger, becoming like more of the norm and less of the exception?
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
that's
what do you do? Like, I work for an independent brewery.
So many. First of all, that's an awesome job, a venerable craft. Our whole world of Generation Delta would be fixed in a second if everyone would get on that micro tip, where he's like, everybody needs to go learn some fucking skills. And I listen to him. I hear him on the Bill O'Reilly talk show radio program, and he's like, everybody needs to go out there and learn how to plumb, because if you knew how to plumb, you'd be fucking set for life. And if we did that,
The motherfucker went before Congress and said
went before
that.
Congress, like,
And he's like, you motherfuckers learn to plumb.
learn to plumb, you dumb shits. Name any problem in politics, American politics right now, that wouldn't be fixed if everybody knew a trade craft that they could profit off of. Like, everybody needs health insurance. Like, if you knew how to plumb, you'd be fucking making bank, and you could just, like, pay for whatever elective procedures you want or need. And people ask you, what's your deal? A plumber. Booyah! You know what I mean? Like, it would be so
I have an
easy.
actual real world skill. I can do a thing.
Oh, what's your
I can do
deal?
one thing.
Hey,
See,
man.
that's the best thing about my stupid job is that I get to say I'm a carpenter.
I'm a carpenter.
And if I don't feel like saying theatrical
Hey,
carpenter.
I'm in a
before
hurry.
it-
Summarize yourself in a phrase if you can. Oh, me? I'm an electrician. Get out of here. I'm done. I'm done already with you. I'm going to bookmark you in my head. Chad, electrician. Oh, that's Chad the electrician. I need some work done, and I have lots of money, and I need electric work done. I'm going to continue supporting him.
Now, here's the thing. The other side of that, though, is that when they go, okay, Travis, carpenter, then later, when they're like, I have this table that needs fixed. Oh, Travis is a carpenter. The nice thing about telling someone that you're a small batch barrel maker, no one's ever going to call you to come fix their barrels.
Yeah, I guess if you don't want money, what are you talking about?
No, but I don't like freelance carpent.
I don't think carpent is the...
I'm a carpenter.
I think it's
I'm really more of an edutainer. That's what I'm going to start telling people. I'm an edutainment. I like to cross the bridge between education and entertainment as an edutainer. That's what I do.
I feel like Jindelt is everybody I know.
Hi, Jindelt. What's your story?
Everyone, every Dick Deuce Jindelt is somehow in the business of online publishing. Everybody in our fucking world, except for the guy who comes and fixes my pipes when they break, is in the business of online publishing. And at a party, when someone says, what aspect of online publishing are you involved in? You can't be like, oh, I lead a creative consulting marketing.
So do you think when they're asking what's your story, they're literally asking what story did you online publish?
Yes. Oh, I did 10 best pictures of cats in mason jars. Oh, I remember that. Great work. Hey, this guy did the cats in mason jars post. That was great.
Oh, I
Mason
love
jar
that.
cat guy.
You remember him?
I think
He's got
that
the really small, really, really sick cat that's like super famous. Is he
Not
around?
No Bones. The No Bone Cat.
Oh, I remember No Bones. He's great.
I feel like the less you can tell someone, the better. Like, I think you should try to keep it close.
What's
to
your
this. They
story?
say- Classified. No, I mean, just give them something. Say, I grew up in the hills. Now I'm in the city, just trying to make my way.
I dabble.
I dabble.
I grew up in the marshes, and then I lived in the mountains for a while, and then the swamps. And I'm just
Spent a little time in the Glen.
I'm just naming Magic the Gathering energy card types now.
That's what I do for a living.
I collect magic cards for a living. There probably is somebody making a living doing that, and they have to explain that shit at parties. Dude, give it up. Give it up and learn how to, like, clean gutters or something.
This is what I'm saying. I think we need an encyclopedia of non-offensive job titles that are all like euphemism for what you do. It's like, what do you do? I've got a huge assortment of magic cards that I sell for a living. What do you do? I'm a trades collector. You know, something that like doesn't make any sense, but when you say it, everybody goes, oh, okay. And it's like, what do you do? Oh, I make tiny models of World of Warcraft battlegrounds. What do you do? I'm a carpenter. Right? And then somebody, if they care to, can go look in the encyclopedia, flip to carpenter and go, well, they make models of World of Warcraft models.
I don't think it says that in the encyclopedia, though. That was a crazy thing you just said.
That is maybe the most nonsensical thing you've ever said on this entire
Well, it'll be a
program.
very Orwellian lifestyle in which everybody is just assigned a bullshit term for the real ass
That's what
job.
I'm
You're
they do.
saying that we should boil our, like, we should boil our jobs down to the actual base mechanic. Like, I should tell people I'm a typist and talker.
At a party, though, and somebody says, what do you do? And you say online publishing, their response is going to be, don't be an asshole. Like, we're all in online publishing.
Of course you are. Of course you're in online publishing. Who isn't?
asshole. I think that we have developed this reverse aristocracy where look around your office right now and then try, like, look at anything and try and imagine with your brain how that thing got made. You can't, you fucking idiot. You can't. Someone else made it and they're laughing at you. They're laughing at you because they don't know how to do shit. And they can introduce themselves really easily at parties. I make lamps. I'm a lampman.
My entire understanding of the built world is drawn from 99% Invisible. So what that means is that when I see an everyday object, I still have no idea how it was made, but I assume the person that created it was a beautiful soul that could teach me about something about life. Because that seems to be the way of things.
We have ugly, stupid live journal souls.
And can I just throw this out? We do not appreciate those beautiful souls enough financially. I mean, monetarily, not enough appreciation.
They're doing fine, though. That's what Mike Rowe's saying. People can't make a living because there's 3 paid online publishing jobs, and there's approximately 5.5 billion people scrambling for them right now. But you know what's up? My toilet's been clogged for like 2 years because nobody knows how to fucking deal with it anymore.
Your toilet's been clogged for 2 years?
That's what I'm saying. It's rough and tumble down here in Austin. Austin is the home of online publishing. Everybody in Austin, we don't have a government because people don't know how to govern. They know how to write blogs about government. Got a lot of HuffPo free contributors down here. But we don't have anybody with any public speaking skills. It's a fucking mess. We don't have cops. We don't have cops that can enforce the laws that nobody's
You just have
writing.
people that post like top 10, 15 worst crimes.
Right. They'll go to Boston and like a cop will beat the shit out of them and they'll record it and they'll put it up. Like, isn't this terrible? Yeah, it's terrible. I wish we had any cops in Austin. My house hasn't been burgled because nobody learned like how to pick a fucking lock. Because nobody fucking knows how tumblers work. They know how Tumblr works.
Tumblr works, but they don't know how
It's a
Tumblr
fucking
works.
joke. I'm quitting the podcast. I'm quitting online publishing, and I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna go like fucking tan leather or something like that. I'm gonna fucking figure it out.
Can I just say how much I would watch that? Not like as a show, but just day to day. I
you
would just
fucking
sit and
saying-
watch you try to learn to tan leather.
If you're a part of the fucking problem, Travis. Because if I start tanning leather and then like someone starts doing a blog about it, you're gonna read the blog and you're not gonna buy my leather goods, and then I'm
Griffin,
gonna die.
I can build a goddamn chair from scratch.
I'll race you. I'll make a chair entirely out of leather, and you make a chair entirely out of wood, and we'll see
You
which one
make
sells
your
on
leather chair.
We'll see which one sells on Etsy first,
And then I'll write a blog about it.
and then I'll
It'll
write
be
a
like-
blog about it.
It'd be like Julia and Julia.
Was that movie called Julia?
Julie and Julia, I
Julia.
believe.
I think it was called Julie versus Julia. Battle Royale.
Another question, you think? Or
Yes.
should
I
we
need to
do it?
stop getting so worked up during this podcast.
Yeah, I got a lot of loss prevention professionals emailing us this week.
I know. Listen, I'm not saying I should clear this up. I wasn't saying that everyone should shoplift all the time. I was only saying I don't understand why everyone doesn't shoplift all the time.
That's a skill.
It is a victimless, crimeless crime.
Specifically, if you don't get caught.
If you don't get caught, or even if you do, they can't do anything. Someone was saying that there's shopkeeper's privilege, which says that you are allowed to detain somebody who you think has shoplifted. And I say, good luck, sirs.
No, here's the thing. Somebody sent us an email though that was great because it also reflected something that happened to me when I worked at Best Buy, and this dude worked at Best Buy, and he said that they caught this kid shoplifting and told him to wait for the cops, and he did. And he sat there for 30 minutes till the cops came, and they were like, yeah, the CD's in his bag. Cops break open his bag, and inside his bag is a bag of cocaine, a bag of marijuana, a loaded gun,
Oh my God.
and the CDs. And the kid just fucking sat there and waited for half an hour.
The kid's like, listen, if you're going to arrest me for the shoplifting, you can't arrest me for the drugs. That's double jeopardy. I know my rights.
I watched 15 minutes of Double Jeopardy on Stars. I think I know the law.
I know my rights.